Hey, welcome back to the Club Junkie podcast. Hopefully you're having a great week. It's another Thursday. We're here, and we're getting into the middle of September, which is crazy because golf season here in Michigan is slowing down. Now, the weather's still decent. I need more time to get out and play more. That's the one thing I'm running into. The weather's hanging on. It's a little cooler, but I just don't have the time to play. So hopefully that'll change here shortly. I do have some stuff upcoming where I've got some rounds to play. But yeah, it's getting that thing where I'm starting to get worried about how much time we have left. But before we get into today's episode, I just want to let you know it is brought to you by Titleist and the new T-Series irons. Are your irons helping you, or are they holding you back? When I first saw the brand new T-Series irons, of course, we saw the photos out on tour that we got on Golf to Beer X. But when I got to TPI, I saw them in hand. One, super impressed. 100, 150. They kind of look like old friends. They didn't change too much. They really look comfortable. That you knew what you had there. Really liked what they did with the look there. But then you jumped into the T250 and the T350, and it was just awesome what they did. I mean, the irons look so much better from address, from the back, getting away the badge and having kind of like this blade type look from the back on the 250 and 350. Just really, really great looking irons. And I think they, really made those two look great, while the other two, they kind of kept, very similar to what they were. And I think, if you're anybody who fits into any one of those irons, you're going to be really impressed with how they look from address, how they look in your bag, just the overall look. And then the feel, of course, very good. I think 100 and 150. The 150, I think they improved a little bit. I think it's a little bit softer. The 100 is, of course, it's soft, play yourself. And then you move to the 250 and the 350, and again, I think they softened those up a little bit, made them feel and sound a little bit better. The previous Gen 200 was definitely an improvement, but I think these are even a bigger jump in terms of sound and feel to the 250 and 350. Just a more muted sound to them, which is really nice. Then we jump into performance, and of course, the 3Ds. Distance control, dispersion, and angle of descent. And those are the big three things. And when I did my fitting, that was the big thing, was trying to add some peak height, add some height, get that angle of descent more steep, let me hit the greens and control the ball better in terms of, kind of north and south distance. And that's exactly what we did, finding the T250 launch spec for me. That was the iron that got it, got my height over 100 feet. Got that land angle steeper, and I'm able to hit those balls into greens and not worry about how firm they are, the slope, any of that. That ball's going to hit and stop, and I've got great distance control with them. Dispersion was also awesome. Everything was really straight. They're super forgiving, easy to hit. Misses, you don't see a big loss in distance. You don't see a big loss in height. The ball just kind of consistently goes at a similar trajectory every time. So, and then we get into, the ability to blend them. I thought for sure I was going to go in and do a little blended set of, 250, 150 or whatever. I ended up going all 250 launch spec, but I did throw in a U505 utility iron at the 4-iron spot, and that blends in with the T250 launch specs extremely well. So in terms of the look, the finishes, all that, it doesn't look like you're looking at a different set of irons. So if you blend, any combination of the sets, they're all going to work together. They're all designed to kind of flow together nicely and perform along the same lines when you get into longer irons with more speed and things like that. So just engineered to work together. So to find the nearest T-Series irons to fit your game or build your perfect blended set, visit Titleist.com to reserve a T-Series fitting near you. So we're back, and we're going to do an episode here where I've gotten a bunch of responses or a bunch of feedback where people want me to do this episode again, and I'm happy to do it. I didn't think I would need to do it, let's call it this soon, but we'll do, we're going to do another my ranking, and it's going to be my top 10. We're going to call it the end of the year, because I don't know that there's going to be another addition to this line or this series before the end of the year. There might be, but I haven't heard or seen of anything yet. That'll be coming out this year. So we're going to jump into my top 10 zero torque putters again. I did this over the summer. We did kind of a top 10, which is my ranking of what I like, what I don't like, or what I like the best, and what I like to putt with the best. And I did a top 10 back in, I don't know when. I don't remember what it was. It was a little while ago in the middle of the summer. And there's been a few models out since then. So people kept, following me on Instagram at Club Junkie Pod. I've done a few Q&As and lives and stuff like that, and people have asked me to do this again. So we're going to go ahead and rank my top 10 zero torque putters in terms of what I like the feel of, all that. Now, there are a bunch of models that I don't own yet or haven't used, so they're not, of course, in this list. So people will say, like, well, what about even roll? Like, they make awesome putters. I have a few even roll putters. I don't have any of the zero torque ones. I haven't used them, so they're not in this ranking. And there's a few others out there that are kind of the same way, like the Toulon, like very cool design, very interesting. The Ping, I just don't have any of them. So this is going to be mine based on kind of the putters that I own, have used, have tried. Maybe I don't own them at the moment, but I've used them a good amount throughout the year. So yeah, we're going to start with number 10. And it's funny, 9 and 10 are the two that I don't have in my possession at the moment. But number 10, I'm going to start it off. It is the PXG Hellcat. And I know the Hellcat is very kind of interesting. I think a lot of people were really interested in this putter. I did a podcast on it a little while ago itself, but I really like it. I typically am not a zero torque blade guy. Most of the blades to me just don't look they just have a different look to them. I don't love the feel. They don't feel as stable as the mallets. I haven't been as a big fan of the blades compared to the mallets, and this is the one blade that I really like. Looking at the list, I think it is the only blade on the list, but I really like this one. I think it looks pretty good, and even though it's kind of like the inexpensive version from BXG, the Hellcat is really simple. It looks really good. They kind of did their little, bonded S hosel in there. And overall, I think it's simple and it works. And honestly, it feels pretty decent. I putted with the Lab Link just a little bit. I've had a Hellcat out on the course and all that. They sent me one. We did a giveaway at the Golf Direct forums and we gave it away. But it's really good. I think it's got good stability. It's got good visuals for players who don't like the look of most zero torque putters. This, I think, has a good look. It's very traditional. Now, any zero torque putter is going to have a slightly unique look. There's no way around that, at least not yet. So for that, I think this is probably one of the more traditional looking ones. I think it's easy on the eyes. It is a little bit firmer than, say, the Battle Ready 2 series. I don't think it has that internal S-Core material built into it because it is a more inexpensive model. So it's got a little bit firmer sound, a little bit firmer feel to it. But overall, I think it's very stable and it looks really good. It's easy to align and it just gives an easy transition from a traditional blade user into a zero torque blade user. So that is my number 10. I'm a big fan of the PXG Hellcat. I didn't think I was going to be. When it came out and I got it, I was kind of just like, whatever. Like it's less expensive zero torque, like whatever. And then when I finally used it, I was really impressed. So it's a really good option and my one blade on the list. So there was a chance, honestly, between 9 and 10. It could have been 9. But I just put it at 10 because, like I said, it is a little different. But I do like the PXG Hellcat at 10. So 9 is the other one that I actually just recently got removed from my collection. One of the guys who works here at Golf X took it out. We were playing. He asked me to bring it. We were out playing. He tried it. And he was like, I'm taking this home. And I was like, okay, I get it. I've got a lot of putters, so I can give this one up. But it is the Odyssey Square-to-Square Jailbird. So the Odyssey Square-to-Square line has the Jailbird, the number 7, and a double wide, and then the Max and Max 1 and Max Stripe. And I don't like the Max 1 and Max Stripe. I just don't like the feel of them. The 7's pretty decent, but the stability of the Jailbird I think is really, really good. You can feel how stable it is. The only thing with that one, to me, that I don't love is I feel it's very lie dependent. Like for me, I almost have to like get my hands into the right position, and then it feels awesome. But I love the looks of it, the Verso alignment with the white lines, the navy blue, easy to line up, easy to square up. I love the AI1 face on it. I really think that Callaway has something with that AI1 face. I think it does add some consistency to ball speed. I know some people out there will say, that's just snake oil or whatever. I totally get it, but I think it does work. The more I've used AI1 putters, whether the milled or the standard, I think the standard, you can see it more. They just tend to really have consistent ball speed no matter where you hit it on the face. And, that AI1 just does it a little bit better, I think, than the milled version. So a really solid option there. Like I said, the only thing for me is it's a little bit dependent on lie angle. I feel like if my hands get a little low, it gets a little flat, and I don't feel like it's as stable. It wants to stay on line as well. When I get into that sweet spot, it's super stable and it putts really, really well. So the other interesting thing, I feel like I see a lot of loft. I think that forward precedent causes me to see a little bit more loft on the face compared to a traditional Jailbird. But it's a really good square-to-square option, and I like what they did there with the design, how they did it. It's pretty simple. You could see a lot of the club head. It doesn't interfere too much with the alignment on it, and it looks like a Jailbird, which is the other cool thing is that when you set that down, and if you're a Jailbird fan, you can set that down. It's Jailbird. It doesn't look like a weird, funky version of a Jailbird. It's a Jailbird. So I'm a big fan of the Odyssey square to square Jailbird at number 9. Now, number 8, this one slid a little bit. I feel like this one was a little bit higher. I'd have to go back and double check the rankings. I mean, I probably should have just pulled that up before I did this podcast, but that would cause me to be actually prepared, and I guess I'm not. So then actually, I didn't put it on there in terms of. I was thinking maybe I put it on the my YouTube video. I had the ranking there, but I guess I didn't. So I apologize there. I thought it was there. I was going to pull it up and be able to tell you where the ranking was before on this one, but I guess I didn't do that. So that's on me, my fault. But the number 9 one there, the number 8 is the Lab DF3. So I've got a DF3. Well, the funny thing is I only have one of them. I used to have 2. This is the sweeper model in my hand, which is my long broomstick one. This one, if I had to go play a DF3, it would not be this. I'd play a traditional one. I think the traditional one that I've not gotten the sweeper move down yet. It's not my thing, but the DF3 from Lab is probably one of the hotter models out there. I mean, people really are into this shape, this look, and I'll say this, it is the most stable out of the Lab lineup. For me, my best description, which you guys have probably heard in nausea, is the feeling of the face pulling through impact. Like the face wants to pull the club head through impact, hit the ball, and continue going and stay on line. Like to me, that's what I like about kind of like a zero torque, lie angle balance putter. That's what kind of drew me into them. That's what I like the feel of. I think the DF3 feels probably the most stable out of any zero torque putter that I've hit. It's extremely stable. The one thing that knocks it for me, I don't line it up well. Even this one here, which was like I said, my sweeper, I ordered it with the full line, so the sight line goes onto the rear section, in the middle, and even on the face. And between that, I've had one with just a line on the front. I've had a couple different alignment pieces with it. I don't line this putter up well, and I feel like I'm really consistent with the standard model, the standard length model. Putting with it, I think it goes on my start line really, really well. I just feel like I struggle getting it lined up on the right spot. So that is my one mock to the DF3. But I think stability-wise, I don't think there's anything better in terms of that stable mallet feel through the putting stroke than the DF3 when it comes to zero torques. Like I said, there's some out there that I have not tried yet. But it to me has been the kind of the most forceful in terms of that feel through the stroke. So if you're a straight back, straight through player, I think you really like the DF3. And if you can find, if the alignment portion isn't bad, because I like the look. I think they did a nice job. I think it's a better looking, the DF 2.1 was kind of funky, big, kind of chunky, all that. This is a much more slimmed down, the 3 is. And I like the look from the dress. It doesn't bother me in terms of the shaping, all that. I just don't think that having that, the big hole without it having a sight line through it, I think for me just makes it a little bit of a struggle. So I have seen my boy on Instagram, Slade Golf. He actually has been making, I think, some 3D printed inserts you can pop in the hole that'll allow you to kind of continue a sight line or something like that. I've thought about getting one from him. I just haven't done it yet. And now I lost my my DF3. Another guy that I work with, at the same weekend we were playing golf all together. We had a bunch of Golf Brex folks in, and one guy took the square to square because he liked it. I basically brought a bunch of zero torque putters because guys wanted to try them. And another guy took the DF3. He putted with it, and he was like, "I'm taking this home." And I was like, "Okay, I guess so." So I no longer have my standard length DF3, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it's cool. But the DF3, it's got good feel to it. All aluminum, so it's got that little softer feel off the face. With the horizontal lines that are milled into it. A little bit softer off the face as aluminum offers. But overall, if you're looking for stability and kind of that heavy, high MOI, stable mallet feel, I think the DF3 is just one of the best choices out there. So that is my number 8 spot, the DF3 standard length. Like I said, the sweeper there, I just haven't gotten it down yet. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I need to see if Adam Scott can give me a lesson, because that's just hasn't been my thing. So another one. So we're going to move on to number 7. And number 7 for me is going to be the Bettinardi Antidote SB2. So I think this one was significantly higher in the last list. I do have to say this was the one that, with all the Zero Torques out there that were basically aluminum headed, this was the first one, I think, or one of the first that I got that had this, an actual stainless steel face, the Bettinardi steel on there, and it felt amazing. Really good feel, soft, responsive, everything you think basically a Bettinardi putter should be in terms of feel. This thing has it. It's got a little funky shape. I know some people, claim that it's very square in terms of the shape on it. I know it's square, but honestly, it doesn't really bother me. Like that, honestly, I thought that actually was pretty good in terms of lining things up and things like that. The squared off look, the kind of boxy look, and I still to this day don't mind it. And I said the sound's really good. I like the fact that it's got some sight lines that are a little easier to see there. They're kind of more full length. There's one on the face and then two that run down the very top end of the putter. I like the blue and silver look. I think they did a nice job with that. But overall, this Bettinardi SB2 or Antidote SB2 looks really good. And I think, again, really good kind of stable mallet feel. Not as quite as much as the DF3, but it definitely feels like it wants to kind of just go straight back, straight through. It plays that pendulum game that a lot of people like the feel of, and I think this thing does it really well. And again, if you're looking for, you're a feel type player, I think this one offers a really good one. So the one thing for this one that kind of dropped it down a little bit for me, I just kind of missed everything to the left with it. For whatever reason, I would putt with it and I would just kind of miss stuff to the left. So that was kind of my thing. Every time I've taken it out, I putted, I wouldn't say I putted bad with it, but I just never seemed to make anything, and I seem to miss everything a little bit left with it for whatever reason. I feel like the alignment portion of it's really good. I did cut it down a little bit. I put a Super Stroke 2 or 2.0 on it, and it feels really good in the hands. It's just that, for whatever reason, I just at impact, I don't know if I'm shutting the face or what, because I feel like I'm lining it up good. I'm just not making putts, and I miss to the left with it. But I like the feel, whether it's impact feel, sound, or the kind of feel through the stroke. I think it's really, really good option, and another great kind of stable feeling mallet. So SB2 comes in at number 7. And then, let's see, number 6. Number 6 is going to be the PXG Bat Attack ZT. So this one's kind of new out. The Bat Attack, I've had the Allen, the Hellcat, and I've had, I feel like, one other one. I can't remember what the other one was. But the Bat Attack is my favorite of the PXGs. So this is the Bat Attack. I've always been a big fan of the Bat Attack anyway. I thought that putter, just from the look standpoint, was really good. I thought what they, it's a great milled number 7 type look. Has the fangs on it. I think it's easy to align. On the ZT, they put just a single sight line down the flange, little sight down on the top. Great milling. It's got the S-core material inside the face, so it's got a nice soft feel to it. Compared to the Hellcat or some of the other putters, this is going to have a nice little more quieter sound, more muted feel. It's just going to feel really good. And then, that pyramid face puts up a good roll in the ball, again, with kind of softening up the sound on this thing. But a little different than the head. You can tell they milled out the rear fang pockets on it, where the standard Bat Attack, these are, I believe, a separate piece that go on, and I believe have a bunch of tungsten in them to kind of increase MOI. This one here, they kind of mill out some of that for the weight to make this thing, more zero torque. So they, of course, use their S-bend hosel, which basically, the head looks very much like just the Bat Attack. The hosel just basically adds, it dynamically makes the shaft go into the center of the club header, pretty darn close to it. And it's got a little bit of forward press in it, built in. But I like the fact that with theirs, you see a lot of the head. You see a lot of the alignment portion. You're not, the center isn't blocked out by a shaft or anything like that. It's just a really good looking head. It's got good sound and feel. I like the way these kind of 7 styles, these fang style putters frame the ball. I think you can use the fangs, or at least I do, the internal lines as like an additional alignment aid. But overall, I really like the sound, feel, all that. It's a little less stable than, say, the SB2 or the DF3 or any of those, but it's definitely more stable feeling than the Allen putter. So the PXG Allen was the first zero torque one they came out with, and that one and I were not friends. For me, I think that's a super neutral putter, and I think if you're a player who tends to have a little bit more arc in your stroke, you may like the Allen because it's not going to fight you so much on it. It's going to let you kind of open it and then bring it back and all that. Where this one here, I think, plays more like that mallet. It tries to stay on line a little bit better. So I like this far better than the Allen. The Allen is Just one that I've never putted well with, and I've had one still. It's in my drawer over there. It's just it's not on this list. It's just not one that I make putts with. But this is definitely a better putter for me in terms of the way it is, and it's got the M16 shaft in it, so the steel tip, graphite top. The one knock to it, I would say, yeah, it's not as stable, but the other knock to it is it's got some forward press in it. And man, I'm hoping that Superstroke comes out with that grip that has kind of that, that grip that reduces some of the forward lean. So they have this, I think it's called, it's the Slant 1.5R. And it basically takes, kind of neutralizes some of the forward press into that shaft. And I just hate the square grip. It just doesn't feel good to me. I don't like the feeling of it. I wish they just, honestly, I would love this putter so much more if they just offered a slightly different grip. So I'm hoping that Superstroke came out with that the pistol version on the Spider, the Spider ZT. I'm hoping that comes to retail and I'll rip this off and put on that grip. And I think that would make this putter substantially better for me. I just really don't like the grip on it, and I don't really want to put a regular grip on it because then it's like your hands are going to be pushed forward a little bit. It's just not kind of what I want to do there. So we'll leave it here, and if Superstroke comes out with it, we'll definitely regrip it. But I do say I like the shape of this putter head. I think it looks great, and I think the sound and feel on it's really, really good. So that is number 6 on the list, and now we'll get into top 5. So at number 5, we're going to go with, which this one I feel like has slid a little bit, and but it's an awesome putter. I really like this thing. When I first took this out, I putted so well with it. It is the BGT, the Breakthrough Golf Technology Paradox Mallet. And this thing here, really cool design. They kind of did, it's zero torque, but it's interesting because the zero torque portion, they kind of did something different where the heel weight is set really low and the toe weight is set high up. And what they're trying to do is basically not only make it zero torque, but crank the kind of the axis of the weight along the same angle as the lie angle. So as you bring it through, it's more stable. Even if you've got a little bit of arc in your stroke or anything like that, it's going to work with both. And this thing here, I think works really well. The lie angle I don't feel like is as dependent. Like if your hands are a little low or a little tall, it still works really well. It's a really great milled construction. I mean, all the milling lines, all that. The face has a really shallow kind of breakthrough logo milling on it. I think it gives it kind of a crisp feel, a little bit of click as the ball comes off the face. So the sound and feel very responsive, but a little bit on the firmer side. If some people love that, some people don't. I don't mind a little bit of click. I kind of like some of that feedback. It's got an interesting little notch there where they shifted the weight up on the putter. So pretty interesting design. And then coming up with a Paradox stability or Paradox Tour stability shaft in there. So super stiff shaft. I just like what they did with this thing. And even though it looks really funky, from the front, like it's got this triangular look from the front and the back, when you look down on it, it doesn't look funky. It just looks like a 7 shape on there. It's really kind of nice. And I like what they did with their own grip. They've got this kind of BGT oversized grip. It feels good. It's got some nice kind of diamond pattern to it. It's got some good traction. And the shape overall is kind of like, it's a little bit like a Tour 1.0. I think it's like a 1.5. It's kind of in between a 2.0 and a 1. But it's a good shape, kind of got some nice roundness to it. It's flat on the top, a little bit of roundness on the bottom. I think it fits in your hands well. Zero taper. It almost feels like reverse taper a little bit. I almost want to take like calipers to it because it almost feels like the butt end is a little bit thinner than the lower hand. But overall, I think it's a great putter. You get the stability shaft. It's super stout. And it's just really well made. They just did a really nice job. And it's something unique. And I putted really well with this thing, even though it's only got like a double sight line on the top for alignment. I lined this thing up. I putt really well with it. And I've made some putts. And it's something that, again, funky from other angles. At address, it looks super normal. And I think that's kind of the appeal as well, that it's just a really kind of good looking 7-style putter from address, and that's all that really matters because that's what you're looking at when you're trying to make putts. But they did a really nice job with the stability of this thing. And same thing, it's not crazy DF3 stable, but it's definitely more stable than some of the other zero torques out there. In order to putt with. And again, sound feel a little bit more crisp, but really good. And I love all the milling and all that stuff they did on this thing. It's a really high quality putter. And I mean, it's expensive, but you could definitely tell they didn't cheap out on anything there in terms of the fit and finish on this. So Really nice option, but that is number 5, which is the BGT, the Breakthrough Golf Technology Paradox Mallet. They make a blade on it as well. The blade, to me, is a little bit more neutral. I like the mallet better. It's just got a little bit more of a stable feel to it. So on to number 4, and these 4 were really tough. I actually, before I did this, I was down to these 4, and I was just putting on my mat again to kind of see, to make sure I was at where I wanted to be with these 4. So we'll jump into number 4, and number 4 is going to be the brand new Lab Golf Oz.1i HS. I don't remember all the letters and numbers in that thing. But the Lab Oz .1i HS. This is the new HS model, the one with the hosel that everybody's been waiting for. We saw it on tour. I just got this bad boy in. The boys from Lab were really cool to put the Club Junkie logo on the bottom of this thing. Very, very cool design. Love that they did it in cappuccino, which is a little bit more brownish this time around, a little darker, a little more copper to it than the previous cappuccinos that I've had before. But this thing here, I really do like. The original Oz, not a big fan. The Oz 1i, I was so excited for it when it came out. Was super excited about the shape. I loved everything about it, all the photos that we saw on tour. Awesome, awesome putter, and I got it in, and it's just like a super neutral kind of weighted putter. And again, I was talking to somebody when I went to the launch event for this, another media guy, and he was saying how much he loves his Oz, and he was saying, I have a lot of arc in my stroke, and that's why I love the Oz. I don't really love the DF3. And I was like, that makes a ton of sense. I kind of love the feel of the DF3 and the Mez and all that. And I didn't love the Oz. And we were kind of discussing. And I think this thing here is a little bit closer to Mez 1 and DF3 in terms of it feels a little bit more stable. The head shape is slightly different. It's the same size. I actually thought it was a bigger head. And then Brian Park, who's the kind of their VP of engineering over there, was like, no, it's the same size. Like they did modify kind of the texture in the back, the topography in the back here, to work with the hosel. But overall same shape. They've got some new alignment stuff. Mine I know looks kind of busy, but I line it up really well. I do love on the Oz. That's the one thing that you can see full sight lines that run the length of the putter. And I tell you what, I've got a few rounds on this thing now. Played with it right during the media event. Putted really well with it, and so far the alignment side of it is way better than say like DF3. So I'd love to line it up, and then I think sound and feel, the steel insert on this thing, it really does give it a better feel than the aluminum to me. I like those slightly more solid, more crisp, slightly firmer feel that the steel face offers compared to the aluminum. Aluminum is just a little bit softer, it's a little bit more muted. Some people like that, and that's the thing with putters. Some people like a little softer feel, some people don't. I'm not as big of a fan. And then, the look is a little bit more traditional with the hosel in it. It still doesn't change the fact that you're going to see, the faces before the shaft and all that. It's still there, but it does look a little bit more traditional. It doesn't look center shafted. And then they do a cool thing with this thing where the hosel, different lengths depending on your lie angle. So this is like one flat. So this is one shorter. I think there's 10 total options. So the more flat you go, the shorter the hosel goes. And the more upright, the longer the hosel goes. So I was actually playing golf with Jake Morrow from Made from the Range, and his was like a couple degrees upright. And when you put our putters next to each other, the hosel on his was a little bit longer. Like you could just see it to deal with being a little bit more upright. So I love the sound and feel on this thing. Just like the Oz, I think this thing has got a good solid feel, a little more crisp sound off of it. It's really, really good. So I've been a big fan of this thing so far. And it's coming in number 4. I mean, it may move up as the more I use it, but I like the sound, like the feel, and I like the slightly more stable feel that this has over the Oz 1, just the standard original one. So at number 4, this is the Lab Oz.1i HS, the heel shafted one, but a big fan of this guy here. It's a really, really good putter. Really have liked it so far, the short time I've had it. So we move into number 3, and number 3 is my Dan Carrier ZT Proto. So my Dan Carrier ZT Proto. Dan Carrier is a great longtime coach, coached some really high-level players, and he makes his own putters. He's just interested in making putters, and he came out with he makes some really cool, just like traditional blades and mallets and stuff, and he started making zero torques a little while ago, and he reached out and was like, hey man, would you like to try one? And I was like, heck yeah, I would. And I love the fact that this thing here is super small, super compact. It's not a big old mallet head, and the shaping of it's really traditional. It's just got some angled sides there, and then when you look at the bottom, they've kind of milled out a lot of it and moved the weight forward. I've thrown just a touch of lead tape in there to get the weight up just a touch, but overall, the sole shape's a little bit different on the retail ones now. He kind of changed up a little bit of it in order to be able to do some left-hand models and right-hand models. So the sole on the ones that you see now are a little bit different. But this one here, I love the sound and feel of it. It is basically just a carbon steel putter with a kind of a deep milled face, and it feels just like a great blade putter. Very responsive. It's kind of got more of a solid knock to it when you hit it. But a great roll in the ball, just overall really, really good sounding and feeling. Probably the best sounding and feeling putter out of all the Zero Torques I own. Just really, really good there. And it just reminds you of just a classic, blade style putter, but you're getting that Zero Torque kind of feel. No laminate or anything on this one. It is naked. I think it would be kind of cool. He's done now some, as he's gotten into production, doing some like some more straight lines and stuff like that on the top for alignment for people. But I actually honestly use this kind of muscle in the back as kind of alignment thing. It kind of makes it a T with the front face on there, and it's really, really good. It's got a little bit of forward shaft lean on it. And just a great feeling putter. And this thing here, it's got a good feel of that face just pulling through. Now, it doesn't feel as like crazy blade stable as a DF3, but it definitely has a really good feel of that face kind of pulling through impact. And yeah, it's just it gives kind of more of a traditional look, feel, and craftsmanship to a Zero Torque putter. And I love what he did with it. It's really, really good. Mine here's got a KBS Tour GPS 120 graphite shaft in it, and the same thing, a Tour 2.0 Super Stroke grip. And honestly, it's just one of those putters that you just love to hit putts with because you just love the feel and the sound. But it's a good stable one that you just feel like the face is always pointed at the target. It just never feels like it wants to move off that. And again, if you kind of go straight back, straight through, this thing works really, really well with your stroke. So number 3, the Dan Carrier ZT prototype. Like I said, been making some cool stuff. He's made some really cool finishes. Mine is like, I think it's like the rust patina on there. But he's done some like all silver ones, and I think he's done some black and some other really cool, but really nice milling lines and all that on here. So a really nice putter done by him. And then number two is going to be the Lab Mez 1 Max. Yes, I really thought the HS was going to beat this thing out. I think it's really, really close, but I will say that the Mez 1 is kind of like that old friend. This thing here I think it's something with the shape. I like the little channel in the back, kind of those Fang number 7 looks. It's just super easy to line up. And it's just one of those putters that I've putted really well with ever since I have it. Every time I take it out, I tend to putt well with it. I don't know what it is. I guess it's just kind of that old friend. But, yes, I wish it had the steel face. I think I asked Brian Parker over there at Lab about it. I was like, hey, man, I want a Mez 1 Max with that steel face? And he was like, it's probably not happening. I think he said they messed around with it and prototypes and stuff, but I guess they would have to, rework some of the weighting and some stuff to make it work. And right now, it's just it's not coming at the moment. So, but this thing still feels pretty good. It's definitely got a softer feel to it. I mean, that's kind of my, I would say my knock compared to like the Oz 1, the HS. Feels way better, sounds way better. This one here is softer, more muted, and it's got just that aluminum kind of feel as the ball leaves the face. So, but again, I line this thing up really well. I feel really comfortable with it. While it's not DF3 stable, it's pretty darn close. It definitely feels again like that face just wants to pull through at impact. Definitely has some forward shaft lean. I've now got a pistol on this. When this then first came, it had kind of the smooth round grip on it, and when they brought out the press pistol on here, I asked for one and threw it on, and they actually said they're like, there's enough difference in the pistol compared to the smooth that it may throw the balance off a little bit. But after I did it, it didn't. The balance has stayed still the same, so which is pretty nice. They offered to just send it back. We'll rebalance it, but I didn't need to do that, and I really like this thing. So once I've put the pistol on it, this thing has been really good, and it's kind of my crutch when I've had a few weeks of just poor putting. I tend to break this bad boy back out, and I usually putt fairly decent with it. And it's just distance control, lining it up, all that stuff. It just works really well, and I think it's just a shape thing that's just comfortable to my eye. and it works well. So I did the video, the online video fitting with this when I did it. And it's a little bit flatter than my HS. I think this is like a 67 and that's like a 68 or something like that. I think they're about a degree or two different in terms of lie angle. And now it's funny that this does feel a little bit more flat compared to my my HS. But overall, I've just been a huge fan of this putter ever since it came out, and I still makes it into the rotation quite a bit with all the other putters that I own now and everything. This thing still makes it in quite a bit, and I like it a lot. So the Mez one is number 2. So that leaves number 1 going to be the TaylorMade Spider ZT. This thing here, everything we saw it on tour, and then Brian Harmon won with it. We've been kind of waiting for it to come out. It did. TaylorMade sold out of them like instantly or right away. It was sold out, and I believe they're back in stock now, or at least they were. And I do have to say, in terms of looking down at a putter, I don't know if I necessarily like it more than the Bat Attack ZT, but this thing here has a really good look to it. They just kind of nailed that spider shape, that spider look from a dress, and I think the black shaft into the black head with the silver face up front, it just blends in well. So when you look at it, you're not noticing a ton of center shaft on there. You know, a little bit of forward lean, and again, if this Super Stroke grip comes to retail with this little bit of like kind of press built into it, I will definitely be ordering a couple of them to put on some of these putters because I really like the feel of it on here. But yeah, pure roll insert, so it's a little bit softer. I think this thing feels a little bit firmer. It is an aluminum-backed pure roll insert, so it's Cerulean with an aluminum back. I think this thing offers just a slightly firmer feel than like a traditional Spider does. But yeah, it's just really good. It's very stable. While the face doesn't feel like it's pulling through, it definitely feels like the putter just stays with the face aimed. It doesn't feel like it wants to twist whatsoever. Again, great straight back, straight through putter. And just that bigger kind of footprint just makes it, you know, where if you do hit it off the toe, the heel, whatever, it definitely is stable. It's not going to swing open or closed. Puts a great roll on the ball. Just does everything really well. And I do say, if you say, hey, you know, we're going to play for, you know, play for $10, and you know, I got to bring 14 clubs, and you're playing a zero torque putter, this is the putter I'm going to grab when we're playing, you know, something like that. It's just been really solid. I've really liked it. And I know a few people have picked these up and been a big fan so far. I wouldn't mind getting a couple heavier weights for it, making just a hair heavier. Even though it's 370 grams, it doesn't feel that heavy you know, through the stroke. But it is just a really solid putter. So it's the one I kind of feel the most comfortable with out of everything. But they're all really, really good. So Spider ZT is my my kind of number 1 at the moment. So yeah, that is my my list for kind of end of the year. I'll call it the end of the season. Zero torque kind of re-ranking. But yeah, we'll start up, you know, at 10, the PXG Hellcat. Number 9, the Odyssey Square to Square Jailbird. 8, Lab DF3. 7, Bettinardi SB2, Antidote SB2. 6, the PXG Bat Attack. Number 5, the BGT or Breakthrough Golf Technology Paradox Mallet. Number 4, the Lab Oz or OZ.1IHS, the heel shafted model. Number 3, the Dan Carrier Zero Torque Prototype. And then number 2, the Lab Mez1.Max or Mez.1 Max. And then number 1, the TaylorMade Spider ZT. So a lot of great putters. I think a lot of it you got to go try them and see which one kind of feels the best to you. But a lot of great putters there in the zero torque world, and even more coming. And there's a bunch that I haven't even tried yet. So we'll do again. We'll maybe do a 2026 you know, thing of this as well, and see where everything ranks. So that is my top 10 zero torque putters. So appreciate you guys following along. Thank you for listening. If you want to follow me on Instagram at Club Junkie Pod, if wherever you listen to the podcast, whatever, if you could like, subscribe, follow, whatever the options are for whatever platform you are, that would be awesome. I really would appreciate it. And yeah, we'll check back next week when we'll jump into another episode. So I'm not sure what exactly it's going to be, but we will have one for you next week. See ya.